Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Game Week 18 League 1 score predictions. If you do go on to enjoy, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. 120 likes on today's video will be massively appreciated, and let's get straight into it. Starting out first then with the Saturday early kickoffs. Firstly, we have Blackpool FC versus Reading FC. Since both of these teams' managers have gone into, or new managers have gone into both of these clubs, they've certainly had an upturn in form. I know recently Blackpool have gone 2 games without a win, but it was back-to-back wins for Ian Everett since then, and they now find themselves just 1 point away from getting out of the relegation zone. Reading recently have gone 4 games unbeaten as well, but away from home so far this campaign, they still yet to win a game. The only team in the division yet to win an away match. Whereas Blackpool at home, they haven't been particularly strong either. It's just 3 wins from their opening 8 home games as well. But under Ian Everett, I think they're certainly starting to look much stronger. They're starting to score a couple of goals as well. Actually, Fletcher's picked up a couple in the last few matches, so I'm going to back Blackpool for a 2-1 home win. Stockport County versus Barnsley FC is the other early kickoff. Both of these sides recently have been going on the other direction. They've both been on, well, Stockport have been on a very good run of form and Barnsley have been on a very bad run of form, but over the last 2 matches it's back-to-back defeats for Stockport, and they've dropped down to 5th in the table, and it is now back-to-back wins for Barnsley, and they're up to 10th, having got 3 games in hand on some teams above them as well. They're only 3 points outside of the playoffs. They obviously recently battered Luton 5-0 in their most recent match. Stockport home though, still so far this season have been quite inconsistent. They had a 12th best home team in the division with 4 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats from their opening 8 matches. In terms of Barnsley on the road so far this campaign, they're 7th in the away table, 3 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats from their opening 7 away games, winning their most recent match as well away at Doncaster. So I think with the form of both of these sides, a lot of injuries in that Stockport camp, Barnsley perform better usually against teams that want to dominate possession. I'm going to back the Tykes for a 3-1 away win. Into the Saturday 3pm kickoffs then, my team Bradford City host Exeter City. We still haven't won in the league since September. We've only picked up 4 points from our last 5 matches, but still find ourselves 3rd in the table at this moment in time. Compared to Exeter, they're down in 20th and just outside of the relegation zone by a single point at this moment in time. But at home, so far this campaign, we have been pretty strong. We are actually without a win at home in our last 3 matches though, but we're 5th in terms of the home table. Exeter on the road so far this campaign have picked up 2 wins and 6 defeats from their 8 away games. They've picked up 4 losses from their last 5 away games, and for that reason, with Bradford City getting a lot of their more important players back from injury recently, I know obviously the blow of Matt Pennington down his hamstring is a massive one for the Bantams, but the likes of Sarcevic returning, we've got Aidan Baldwin back as well. I'm going to back Bradford City for a 2-0 home win. If we don't beat Exeter, I think we're in a little bit of trouble, to be honest. I say that we're 3rd in the table still. Burton Albion versus Leyton Orient is a bit of an interesting one. Burton are currently 14th in the division and have picked up 10 points from their last 12 matches. Leyton Orient have been very inconsistent, normally winning their home games but losing a lot of their away games recently, and obviously they've conceded the most goals in the entire division with 29, but they've also scored the joint most as well with the likes of Wycombe, Barnsley. You've also got Cardiff, who have all scored 25 goals so far this season. Burton at home have been quite poor, in all honesty, across the full campaign. They're 3rd bottom at the moment, but they have won 2 of their last 3 home games, and Leyton Orient on the road have been very poor. They're 3rd bottom as well. They've only won 2 and lost 6 of their opening 8 away games. They've conceded 20 goals in that time as well. So for that reason alone, I'm going to back Burton for a 1-0 home win. Cardiff City versus Mansfield Town, I think it'll be a pretty straightforward game. Cardiff obviously 2nd in the table at this moment in time, and they've picked up 3 wins from their last 5 matches, getting back to winning ways with a 3-1 win away at Northampton. They had a 7th best home team as well in the division with 5 wins and 2 defeats from their opening 7 games, whereas Mansfield on the road so far this campaign, they're in 12th with just 2 away wins from their opening 8 matches. Going away to Cardiff is a very tough fixture. Recently Mansfield haven't been on a great run with back-to-back defeats away at Northampton and at home at Huddersfield. So I think this will be a pretty straightforward 3-1 win to Cardiff. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet. Maybe someone like a Reece Oates might get a goal on a counter-attack, but I'm feeling pretty confident the Bluebirds will get a win in that one. Doncaster Rovers versus Peterborough United, the Darren Ferguson derby, which obviously neither of these sides actually currently employ Darren Ferguson anymore, but Doncaster have been absolutely awful. I know I got on about Bradford City not winning since September, but Doncaster Rovers actually haven't won since beating Bradford City in their cup final back on the 6th of September in the league. They've only picked up 2 points from their last 5 matches. They're in free fall at the moment, and if this fixture goes how I think it could go, Doncaster could see themselves in the bottom 4. Recently, Peterborough have picked up 3 wins from their last 5 matches, and since Luke Williams has gone in there, Peterborough have certainly been a much better side. They obviously lost on Tuesday 1-0 to Stevenage, which had some pretty controversial decisions in that game, but prior to that, they had a 3-0 win at home to Stockport and a 5-0 win at home to Wimbledon. I know that Peterborough are on the road for this game and away from home. They haven't been particularly great with just 2 wins from their opening 7 away matches, but you look at Doncaster at home so far this campaign, they're down in 20th with 3 wins, 2 draws and 3 defeats. They have only picked up 1 point from their last 4 home games. Doncaster in a lot of trouble, and for me personally, I think Peterborough come away from that one with a 2-0 win. Huddersfield Town versus AFC Wimbledon. Again, both of these sides recently have been going on a opposite run of form. I know Huddersfield lost their most recent match away at Luton on Tuesday night, but prior to that, they beat Mansfield and also beat Plymouth, scoring 6 goals in at that time. Whereas Wimbledon, they've lost 3 games on the bounce now, and they're not the hardest fixtures in the world. At home to Burton, away at Peterborough, and at home to Wigan. They are 3 awful results, really, in the grand scheme of things. They're going away to Huddersfield, who recently have been on a better run of form, although they still find themselves very far down and below Bradford City in this table at the moment. But Wimbledon, for me, they're on a bad run of form. Huddersfield are hitting form at a good time now, going into the Christmas period. I know, obviously, they lost their most recent game, but prior to that, so I'm going to back Huddersfield for a 3-0 win in that one. Lincoln City versus Port Vale, 2 sides that are in and around the Midlands. Is that fair to say? Is this some kind of derby, or am I off my head? Lincoln obviously currently sitting 4th in the table, despite equally to Bradford City being on a pretty poor run of form recently, but they have played at least 1, most cases 2, in some cases 3 games more than a lot of the teams around them. Port Vale, though, they are awful. They're bottom of the table. They've picked up 1 point from their last 5 matches. I'm incredibly surprised that Darren Moore is still in a job there. I'm hoping that he's still in charge by the time Bradford City go there on the 9th of December, but I'm not feeling particularly confident about that, in honesty. They're probably going to get a new manager bounce just as we hit them. When you need a bit of luck in football, we're probably not going to get it. So hopefully Port Vale get a victory in this one, but they're not scoring goals. They're conceding far too easily. They've only scored 11 goals. We're nearly in December and they've only scored 11 league goals so far this campaign, and Devante Cole's probably scored half of them. They're still only 3 points from safety, but they have played a game more, and I am very concerned about Port Vale. So with Lincoln being the home side, yes, they've been out of form recently, but they beat Doncaster. I would expect them to beat Port Vale 2-0. Luton Town versus Bolton Wanderers is a very interesting one. Luton have picked up 10 points from their last 5 matches and have slowly been climbing up the table, but Bolton themselves have been on a very good run of form, and they've also picked up at 10 points from their last 4 matches, which both of these sides are in a decent run of form. Luton, with them being the home side, though, I do slightly edge towards them. You look at Luton at home so far this campaign, they haven't been particularly great. They're down in 17th in the home table, whereas Bolton on the road so far this campaign, I am struggling to see them. That's because they're all the way down in 21st. They've actually won 1 away game so far this campaign. I didn't realise how bad Bolton have been on the road so far this season, so that definitely cements it for me that I think Luton Town will come away from this game with a 1-0 home win. I think Luton might be up for a little bit more. Plymouth Argyle versus Northampton Town is a bit of an interesting one. Obviously, Port Vale were defeated by Plymouth Argyle in their most recent match. Plymouth prior to that had been on a very bad run of form, but that's probably kept Tom Cleverley in a job for another couple of weeks. In terms of Northampton Town, a lot of inconsistency around them at the moment. They've gone loss, win, loss, loss, win at this moment in time. Plymouth at home so far this campaign have been pretty poor. They won back-to-back home games around August and September sort of time, but since then they have gone 3 games without a win at home, although it feels like Plymouth always seem to be playing away at the moment. In terms of Northampton Town on the road so far this campaign, they're 17th in the table. I think both of these sides are probably going to cancel each other out and it'll finish in a 1-1 draw. Rotherham United versus Wycombe Wanderers is the penultimate game for us to go through and preview. Both of these sides have been on a very good unbeaten run recently. Wycombe have picked up 11 points from their last 5 matches, whereas Wycombe have picked up 9. Both these sides haven't lost in a decent amount of time. If this was at Wycombe, I'd be certainly fancying them. I see there being a decent amount of goals in this game. I think Wycombe obviously are scoring a lot of goals at the moment, but still also conceding the odd 1 or 2 here or there. They didn't play particularly well against Lincoln, but still got through and got the win. So I think I'm going to go with a Desmond 2-2 draw in that one. I think it'll be quite entertaining. And finally then, we have Wigan Athletic versus Stevenage FC. Wigan currently in 15th and are actually 4 games unbeaten at the moment. Stevenage top of the table, picking up their first win in 5 matches on Tuesday. First team to hit 30 points so far this campaign, and they've still got a game in hand or two on a fair few of the teams around them. In terms of Wigan at home so far this campaign, they've been solid enough with 4 wins from their opening 7 home games, whereas Stevenage on the road have been very good. They are third in the away table. They've won 4 of their opening 8 away matches so far this campaign, but it is just 1 win in their last 3 away games. With Wigan recently picking up form and Stevenage being quite inconsistent, they didn't play particularly well against Peterborough on Tuesday. I think I'm actually going to back Wigan for a 2-1 home win in that one. But there we have it then. I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new, can we try and hit 120 likes as said at the start of today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. How do you think your team will get on over this weekend? Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one.